welcome to episode 1, part 2. And just let me get into this briefly. The reason why I'm making a part 2 of episode 1 is, for one, the actual camera stopped while we were doing the interview, so a lot of the verbal content that we had from the interview didn't actually make it into the first cut. And the reason for that is that throughout the videoing of the tour, the introduction, and the workout, I actually ran out of space on the card. So with me keeping true to the promise that I made in the video of the content that we're going to cover, it's going to be for the New Year's resolutioners or those that are new to the gym or just setting out on your fitness journey. Hope you enjoy this little format of this little voiceover. I'm actually going to have my workout footage from the other night actually playing in the background as I transpose myself on the video. Unless I have other information I want you to kind of focus and absorb, I will go ahead and pick that up instead. But that's what's going to be going on for this episode, so stay tuned. Giving you some baselines and guidelines to follow through and kind of checkpoints as you build, and hopefully you follow along throughout the series as we'll also build your confidence in the gym, confidence in yourself as far as applying these tools inside the gym into your fitness journey. So basically, with that being said, the things that we talked about was supplementation, nutrition, periodization of your training, and with that there was a top 4 that we left off with, which it was pretty cool the way we did it, but like I said, it didn't make it, which is kind of frustrating, which I'm learning. With that being the first episode, I'll learn from my mistakes and I'll learn from the platform, but I was actually kind of pleased with how it turned out, and I'm still learning how to edit, so everything's still a work in progress, so bear with me. But like I said, there was 4 topics. There was the nutrition, supplementation, periodization, and consistency. And we talked a little bit about mobility, but I didn't want to get too far into mobility because I want to develop a whole series of dealing with mobility. So as for this episode, since I don't want to call myself a perfectionist, but I want to make sure I'm giving you great content that you can use, apply to your life, and I just don't want to be up in front of a camera, putting stuff out, and just have it all over the place where you're like, where the hell is he going with this? But anyway, let's start off by tackling nutrition. I have a handout I made when I first started my company back in 2009, but it basically has your general noteworthy supplementation or supplements that you should probably look into building your supplementation around. Basically what I have on here is a multivitamin, and it's something we talked about briefly. Some people say multivitamins are worth it, some people say they aren't, but like I said, the long-term effects and the risk of multivitamins are inconclusive. But it's probably a better chance that if you're not eating right and don't have a balanced diet of fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that, you're not going to get your right balance of micronutrients. And also an excellent source of hitting your daily recommendation of your micronutrient levels. You have a better shot of doing that with the multivitamin. It can contribute to everything from your physical conditioning to your mental well-being. It just depends on the potency and just the grade of the multivitamin you're taking. Some multivitamins just dump things into your body where you actually don't have a chance to absorb it, or the way the pill is actually manufactured, the absorption rate may not be as high or as quality as other supplements, so beware of what multivitamin you choose. But like I said, it's a better chance you're going to hit those minimum requirements for your daily needs if you take a multivitamin versus not taking it and hoping that you're eating the right amount of vegetables and fruits and things of that nature. The next one we talked about was fish oil and flaxseed oil. Basically what this is going to do is going to help you get your omega-3 fatty acids. It's going to help protect against heart disease, and it's also going to lower your total cholesterol and your LDL cholesterol. And then another one I have on here that's kind of, I don't know, you can get it in many different forms, a pill form, and some people actually drink the green tea extract, and it has a thermogenic effect that aids in weight loss, and it does not cause the jitters and everything that you get from other stimulants like caffeine and things of that nature. Basically it has all the weight loss effects without the side effects and jitters. And green tea comes in various forms, and like I said, you can get that from pretty much almost anywhere. You can get it from Walmart, you can get it from Walgreens, you can get it from your major superstores, grocery stores, specialty stores. So you can also get it from Starbucks if that's your thing. But let's see, what else we have in here. Then we just basically, well, we didn't go over this, but this is something I want to put out there just so you have it and say it's been done, you know about it. Basically how to count and read labels. Basically labels they're broken down into, what is it, based on 2,000 calories of the diet or whatever. But basically it's broken down into protein, fat, and carbs, and then also fiber as well. And some of them show sodium and things of that nature. And if you're worried about sodium, you should also be able to point out and recognize your doses and how much you need throughout the day. But first, protein, just let you know that 1 gram of protein yields 4 carbs. So every gram of protein that you eat or that's on the label, it's contributing to 4 calories of the total calories of that item. And you need protein because basically what protein is going to do is going to help with the growth and maintenance of your body tissues. And it's also going to help maintain fluid and electrolyte balance and also maintain your acid balance in your body. That's what the protein is going to do for you. The carb, it also yields 4 calories per gram. So every gram of carbs you see in the item is going to give you 4 calories of energy, or it's going to contribute to 4 calories per gram of the total. And basically carbs can be broken into 2 categories. You have your simple carbs and you have your complex carbs. Your simple carbs are going to be anything that's refined or processed. Basically, anything that's not natural is pretty much refined. And it's basically the reason why it's called refined because whatever process was taken to make that, it's already kind of pre-broken down, so your body's going to absorb it a lot faster. And those are the calories that usually stack up are the refined sugars. And your body, and your metabolism doesn't really have to work as hard to burn those, so therefore they typically store, and that's where a lot of the weight gain comes from, is your refined sugars and carbs, or carbs, whatever you want to call it. The next one is complex carbs, and your complex carbs are going to be your grains, your dark leafy vegetables, yellow fruits, and other vegetables. And just note that your complex carbs are typically higher in fiber, so your body's not going to actually absorb them, but it's actually going to contribute to your total calories throughout the day. But fiber is pretty much empty calorie, just kind of goes through and kind of helps with your digestion and things of that nature. So you want to make sure, damn, these lights are hot, but I'm doing it for y'all, so it's cool though. And then last we have fats, which actually per gram, fats actually yield more energy, and that's why some of the diets that people go on, a high fat diet yields more energy. Only reason that you can really scientifically back that is because I ain't gonna say only reason you can scientifically back that, but the science behind that would be that 1 gram of fat is actually gonna yield 9 grams of energy, or contribute to 9 grams of the total calories. Not 9 grams, 9 calories for every gram of the total calories in an item. And basically fats are broken up into, depending on how it's bonded, whether it's single bond, multiple bonds, and trans bonds. So basically you have a monosaturated, which is gonna be your single bonds, and then you're gonna have olive oils, canola oils, and grapeseed oils. You have your polyunsaturated, and then you're gonna have your vegetable oils and plant fats, and then also you're gonna have your omega-3s and your omega-6s. And these are all the good fats when it comes to fat, because fat can be good. You do need fat in your diet, and those will be listed as your good fats. The fats you want to stay away from are your saturated fats and also your trans fats. And that's basically what we talked about. And then as for the periodization that we talked about, just always know that you're going to be assessing and kind of trying to find out where your body's going, where you need to adjust on your body. And one of the things that Ben had talked about, he said you can't stack strength on top of dysfunction, which means you need to work out your imbalances, your postural differences, your postural deviations, and things of that nature before you start trying to pile on weight and try to gain a bunch of strength and size. Because if there's something lacking at the beginning and you don't address it, it's either going to go farther off, or it's going to be lacking more, or it's going to possibly cause injury. So make sure you kind of find your baseline and make sure you work out all your kinks, and just start with a clean slate. If you have a side that's weaker than the other, you probably want to do unilateral movements versus bilateral. Unilateral, like basically instead of jumping straight onto a bench, you can maybe do alternating dumbbell presses, which is going to force you to work the weaker side on its own until it catches up with the stronger side. Typically you can do that by not changing the weight, just changing the reps, and the stronger side is not going to get actually stronger. It's going to allow possible time for that imbalance to kind of balance itself out. The weaker side is going to actually be able to catch up and possibly strengthen itself. And then what was it? Oh, consistency. Basically with consistency, all we kind of talked about is don't think that where you're at right now, if you gain a bunch of weight or if you're trying to put on a bunch of size or whatever, it's not going to happen overnight. It's just about consistency, getting up, sticking to a plan, writing it down, consulting with someone who can take you through the different phases from the core stabilization phase, where you can learn how to engage muscles, incorporate things, and just work on your overall range of motion, which is mobility, which, like I said, I'm trying to stay away from that from this topic because it's a very in-depth topic and you can go on for months and days and whatever talking about just mobility itself, between the joints, the muscles, the imbalances, the deviations, and things like that typically get people hurt in the gym. And that's why another thing with the, I guess it would be the consistency and the periodization, is just don't go in and just think that you have to, I don't know, you just have to lift all the weight you can, because like a lot of times you're gonna end up hurting yourself if you're not ready for it, especially if you've been on break for a long time. I'm not sure, I think we did cover that about the weekend warrior thing, weekend warrior mentality. If you have that alpha mentality where when you left the gym, maybe it's 6 months to a year, 10, 5 years, whatever the time limit, when you left the gym you were benching or squatting or curling this, and you want to come back in and start where you left off, realistically, it's not gonna happen for most of us. I'm not gonna say that a lot of people, I'm not gonna say that for everybody it doesn't work, but for a lot of us, we can't just stop 12 months from here or 5, 10 years of high school, college, stop and then pick up in adulthood or whatever the time frame is. We just can't pick up and just start back over where we left off. We're gonna lose something along the way. So basically be safe, be consistent, and just stick to the plan and just be in it for the journey. Like I said, it's getting to that destination, whether it's losing weight, gaining size, or just overall health. I mean, the most enjoyable part is going through it and testing yourself, challenging yourself, keeping yourself disciplined to that, and make sure that you're getting up and doing something and working toward a goal. And I mean, once you get to that point, the rest is just filling in.